Hello, I'm Bookface. And this is a video I'm not entirely sure how to classify. These aren't deities, but they aren't just monsters either. They're kind of a little bit of both. Today we're talking about the Anaye from Navajo myth. I might be saying it wrong, but we're just gonna move past that. Word Anaye translates to alien gods. And boy, if that doesn't sound awesome. Also, I don't know if it actually translates to that or if that's just what it means, which is a confusing way to say it, but it makes sense in my brain. If it doesn't, you're probably right. Basically, these were godlike creatures, but at the same time, horrible, deformed monsters. And their story of origin is a little questionable in my opinion, which, I don't want to be rude, all respect to Navajo myth and culture, but the origin of this myth is just a little... the story basically being that at one point, man and woman were going through a rough patch, which, you know, interesting start in general. And so the women left and, took care of business, you know what I mean? Why does my euphemism make it seem even more inappropriate? And used random objects to do this business, like rocks or antlers. And I didn't actually write notes how 2 + 2 = 4, but, you know. And then this business transaction, I'm going into the metaphor apparently, resulted in the Anaye being born. So basically, a typical Anaye family tree has a woman and a rock. The idea essentially being that it's an unnatural act and therefore produces something unnatural. And the moral behind this of women having to be with men or birth horrible monstrosities is a little questionable. And maybe there's some more to it I don't understand. It's hard to find sources for Navajo myth, so maybe I'm just misinterpreting it, and that is very much possible. But if that is the case, that's a little messed up. Some of my sources specifically say that wicked women would birth Anaye, so therefore I guess it would be an intentional thing. You can be a strong, independent woman without no man and not necessarily birth a monster child. To make it a lighter note, I'm just imagining, you know, after a said business transaction is handled and she becomes pregnant, she's like, what is happening? What? 9 months later, real interesting surprise happens. And while I'm not sure if it's all of them, at least a large portion of the Anaye were killed by some heroes, one notable being Nayenesgani, whose name translates to Slayer of Alien Gods. And so yeah, that seems kinda named with a purpose there. Hey, what's your name? Oh, I'm John. Oh, cool, my name is Guy Who Kills John. Oh, cool. I'm gonna go now. And my own personal note, I found that these creatures, while they have slightly fewer details than most of the things I find, those details are absolutely metal. And with that out of the way, let's jump right in. Woo! First up we have Binaye Ahani, whose name means one who slays with their eyes. And that's what my mom's students call her. Heyo, up top. This Anaye would fire lightning from its empty eye sockets. Like I said, this is metal. And they resembled limbless twins conjoined at the torso. And I have put much thought into how they would move in this particular form. And my conclusion is that whatever the explanation is, it would look pretty silly. You just got cool lightning eyes, then they're just sort of shuffling. I imagine like the connection between the torso allows them to just sort of step with their torsos, like the bottom of their torso is their feet and they just flop forward. I don't know, it's hard to say. The world may never know. Binaye Ahani was killed by Nayenesgani when he used salt to blind them, which is very impressive considering they don't actually have eyes. But if it works, it works. Next we have Teelget, a quadruped creature with antlers on its head. And it was also predatory. See, I made the predatory horse. Now the Navajo does the honor of giving us a predatory kind of deer. This Anaye was also killed by Nayenesgani, who killed it by using a gopher burrow to get to its chest and then shoot an arrow made of lightning into its heart. Metal! So Teelget got angry and ripped apart its own body trying to get to Nayenesgani. Metal! If not incredibly intelligent. Lastly, we have Yeitso. Yeitso, whose name meant great genius or great god.
This is big brain time.
Somebody thinks highly of themselves. Or I guess the mother of Yeitso was just very proud of her stony boy. We love to see it. And Yeitso was born from a woman and a stone. So a woman conducted business with a rock.
It's about drive, it's about power.
Okay, I think I get it now. Did you get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? I'm so sorry. He was a scaly giant that lived by the lakes and could hurl lightning bolts. There's a lot of lightning in Navajo myth. And Yeitso was killed by Nayenesgani Thobadzistishini with the help of Anaye. Hey yo, got a cameo. And with one of my best deity drawings too. That's fun. Also, after they killed Yeitso, they took his scalp. Yeah, it's a little less fun. And there we have 3 of the Anaye. It was a little trickier doing this one because the details are few and far between. Don't entirely understand the Anaye very well. That being said, though, I really wanted to do a video on the Anaye because they're really cool. I intend to do more, but I'm gonna have to do more research because there aren't that many. They're very interesting. I think there's maybe like 10-ish around that number that I have found. So I'm not gonna be able to do a bunch of videos on these. So I want to make sure next time I do this, I've got everything in order, which you'd think I should do with every video I do, but then it's me, so of course not. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!